my sweet one, love Jamaica. God know it rough sometimes. Can't turn a blind eye, not even pretend that we don't notice the crime. But when festival come around, and my radio crack the sound, in the burning need, we still move with feet to enjoy this year festival. Oh, we dancing same way, we'll be rocking same way. We are real till we money done. Work so hard, now we having fun. We rocking same way, we'll be skanking same way. Lord, we're still feeling the beat, marching on 'cause the rhythm sweet. Now I know we've got some problems, but for all that we've overcome, just kick off your shoes, let's celebrate life because we are above the ground. And for all the fanfare and fame, Jamaica people back broad like rain. And if you don't feel right, take a highway flight to Negril or Montego Bay. Oh, we dancing same way, we'll be rocking same way. We are real till we money done. Work so hard, now we having fun. We skanking same way, we'll be jumping same way. Lord, we're still feeling the beat, marching on 'cause the rhythm sweet. So tell them, say rock them, all when we facing tribulation. Black, green and gold is a formation. Rock a Gibraltar in the Caribbean. Liquor but we tell her what we burn and strong. We are rise and shine, what a blessed island. Perfect spot for your vacation. Take a sip on the beach and cock up on your side. Start the celebration, we dancing same way, we'll be rocking same way. We are real till we money done. Everybody must have we'll be dancing same way.
Same way, sir. Our festival songs provide a musical backdrop for emancipation and independence festivities. And they also evoke such a feeling of appreciation for our Jamaican culture. Don't you agree? I do. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Jamaica Magazine. Today we are here at Independence Village, right here in Kingston. We have so much in store for you, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the news.
Keep that smile on their faces and preserve their innocence. Cherish the moments you have with them and create the best memories. Let's inspire our children to dream big and work hard to achieve all they aspire to be. Take the time to listen to our children and really hear their side of the story. Our children deserve love and the right to access their basic needs. Do your part and protect our children.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, August 4, 2023. Government will be undertaking a massive overhaul of the Program of Advancement through Health and Education path to ensure more Jamaicans can benefit from the initiative. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement during a press briefing at Jamaica House yesterday. PATH is a social safety net program which provides conditional cash grants to vulnerable households within the population. The most significant change will involve making the beneficiary identification system far more targeted, as many people complain that they cannot gain access despite living in dire circumstances.
There is clearly a refining that needs to happen in the entire beneficiary identification system for PATH. So that will be addressed to ensure that we are picking up those persons in our society who are genuinely in need of that social safety net support.
The Prime Minister says this is among measures being explored to offset the impact of inflationary spikes that happened during the COVID-19 pandemic and continue to affect people's purchasing power. Immediately following the pandemic, there was a rapid increase in prices, driven by global supply chain shocks and geopolitical issues. In Jamaica, inflation went as high as 11.8%, but is now down to about 6.2%. Mr. Holness says that while Jamaica has outperformed many other countries in rebounding from the pandemic, the government recognizes that this is still not being felt by many in the society.
The truth is that inflation has a lagging impact on people's outlook. because it takes some time for wages to catch up, to put you back in a position where your consumption that you were used to is restored.
Prime Minister Holness remarked that the recent increases in minimum wage and pension payments, as well as the public sector compensation review exercise, were other examples of government's response to the issue. Meanwhile, government will shortly be announcing additional support for back-to-school activities across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says this is another measure designed to address the erosion in people's spending power, as well as the learning slide coming out of the pandemic.
We will also ensure that our schools, that the resources that they need to get back up very quickly, that those resources are upfront in the budget. And you will hear more about other programs, more targeted programs, to ensure that those persons who are going to be doing PEP, for example, that they are particularly supported.
Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark recently announced that the government was providing $3 million per constituency to support back-to-school initiatives. The money will be made available through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
What was announced by the Minister of Finance specifically for back-to-school through the CDF program is part of a general program. There are other initiatives that we will announce in the coming days, which will see employment for persons who are presently unemployed, particularly in ensuring that in the independence period and so forth, that we have cleaning up programs going on.
The new academic year begins on September 4, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is asserting that government intends to fulfill the constitutional requirements regarding the local government elections. The elections, which were last held in November 2016, were postponed for a further 12 months in February and are slated to be held no later than February 28, 2024.
If there is need, if something happens, if there is an exogenous shock or weather event, then certainly that has to be considered. But as it is now, it is the intention of the government to fulfill its constitutional duties.
Mr. Holness was responding to a question during Thursday's press conference at the office of the Prime Minister. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie has previously said the postponement of the election is to allow for the continuation of Jamaica's post-COVID-19 economic recovery and to provide additional time to conclude consultations regarding Portmore becoming Jamaica's 15th parish. 42 farm workers left the island for Canada yesterday to take up employment opportunities in Ontario and Nova Scotia. The customary send-off ceremony was held for the workers at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Overseas Employment Services Centre in downtown Kingston. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. reminded the workers that they are ambassadors of the country when they go overseas and to act accordingly. He says the ministry has provided the workers with a document informing them of their rights. The Overseas Employment Program, administered by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, facilitates the selection and recruitment of workers who participate in programs in the United States and Canada. The program provides employment for Jamaican workers in various fields, including the agricultural and hospitality industries. Recreational drone operators are being advised not to fly their devices in the vicinity of the National Stadium during this Sunday's Independence Day Grand Gala show. The Grand Gala, which is scheduled to begin at 6 p.m., will feature about 300 drones forming images above the stadium. Executive Director of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, Lenford Salmon, says the flying of drones near the venue, other than those designated for the event, can potentially impede the display. He adds that it poses a danger for everyone, including recreational device operators.
We're really appealing to private drone operators. It is, in fact, illegal to send up a drone without the requisite approvals from the Civil Aviation Authority. And we really, we don't want to, because we can in fact force the drones down, but we don't want to get to that.
Mr. Salmon was speaking during a recent JIS think tank session. And finally, traffic along a section of the Harbour View main road in St. Andrew will be curtailed this weekend in the vicinity of the Shooters Hill community. Communication and Customer Services Manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw, says approximately 400 meters of the corridor will be reduced to single-lane traffic. The restriction starts on Saturday, August 5 and will be in effect until Monday, August 7. Mr. Shaw says the reduction in the available lanes for commuting is being done to facilitate the building out of a section of the new embankment to form part of the new 4-lane corridor. The section of road is also being encumbered by several JPS poles. Heavy equipment, therefore, cannot easily maneuver in the space. The NWA says reducing the corridor to single-lane traffic is therefore necessary for the safety of commuters and workers on the site. The works form part of the ongoing Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Program. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Caller, you are now on air.
Okay, so I recently graduated from high school and I'm nervous about what's next. Some motivation would help.
All right, caller, we have just what you need.
What you are getting today is a passport to the world. And you are going to decide how high your plane will fly. Because even though you have a passport, it doesn't mean that there won't be turbulence in the sky and some scary moments where you have to hold on to your seat and have faith that you will make it. I want you to remember the 5 important P's that help me to be successful. Positivity, perseverance, professionalism, progressiveness, and having a prosperous spirit. I can guarantee you that if you follow that template in life, you will be successful.
While we celebrate our independence, we want to make sure that we have a legacy for the future. So one of our institutions is working with the next generation to ensure that they can lead us into the future.
John, father, they are boring, can't wait till the summer step in.
So what you going to feel so now?
Me? No, sir, I might boy them they are planning to touch by the Negro side.
I'm so glad, man. Time to go camping, bro.
Oh, bad man, you know they can't make the charge.
No, brother, if you don't go brother, you're not going to be better, brother.
So, nail it.
You know, sometimes you have your good child home and eventually you still cannot sway for your child behind your back. In front of you, you can sway for them. But behind you, there is nothing at all you can sway for them about. You know, you have your good child home and meeting other children then, friends, you know you will have a changed child. Whenever time I talk to him, he's not hearing.
Ardia's Picnic, Nyamrak Stone. But Christiana High School is giving disobedient students a break and a chance to cut their teeth on a better future through its positive enrichment behavior camp.
This camp basically started about a decade ago from 2013. We took a break during the COVID-19 pandemic and we have seen an uptick post-COVID-19 pandemic and hence we have decided to go back to the camp. The purpose really is to educate the students who we have here, who we have seen on a number of infringements for the school, and to empower them so that they can be reinstated in the regular program as good boys and girls.
Well, I am the brainchild of the camp. Based on my job description with the Ministry of Education, we have to come up with programs that caters to help to solve or to remediate students. So when I did a survey, I recognized that most of these students needed to be in an environment to be secluded sometime, pull apart and do intervention with them, because trying to do the intervention in school on a daily basis is kind of difficult. So at this time, so when I looked at it after doing the survey, I decided that a camp in the summer would be ideal. From 2013, when we started the camp, I started it with just 25 students to pilot the program, but then I recognized that I could now get others into it, so I expanded it from the 25, and then 2017, I moved it to residential because before it was a traveling camp.
We find that over the years, more of our boys are found in problems, situations, and and some of our girls, a handful of our girls, are getting themselves in problems with administration and this type of rules and regulations that we have here at Christiana High School. But we have put in place a mechanism. In fact, we have a number of other programs at Christiana High School that we cater to before we even get to the camp.
If we can save them without have to expel them, so when we put them here, we're giving them a chance to remain in school.
I'm saying paper, father. Where you go with that? Me get 3 and you get everything. What go on? Tell you, bro. Camp, no brother. Yeah, no brother. But the camp did. Yeah, bro. Tell you, bro. Brother, make it no.
If me did know, a widely used expression that most of us are familiar with. Regardless of your age, you are accountable for the decisions you make in life. Let us work together to make Jamaica a place where we all can live, raise our families, and do business.
Be a good student today for a brighter future tomorrow.
Respect can take you through life.
We all play a pivotal role in proactively filling up the blood bank by donating blood, by encouraging those who can donate to do so regularly, and by offering support, whatever that looks like. So be it to retweet it, be it to ask a family member, tell a friend, a co-worker, a colleague, even a stranger.
1 liter of blood can save 3 lives. You can give half of that at any of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's blood collection sites. There is no time to wait in a time of crisis where blood is needed. Every passing moment, the life of someone who needs blood hangs in the balance.
I stand here before you as a testimony of the life-saving effects of donating blood. Someone gave, that's why I am alive today.
If you are 17 to 60 years old and in good health, please give so others can live.
Our music has played a role as an agent of change in society. We're talking about political and social issues. We're talking about economic inequality and racial unity. Let's take a look at how our music has now been evolving over the years.
Relax, man, we'll soon get there. In fact, we are here, the Institute of Jamaica. This is where we're going.
What is this, Grandpa?
When you go in, you'll see. Come on, let's go.
Oh, where's a carry me someplace me no want go.
You say you want to be a musician? Well, you have to come here. Let me show you where the music is coming from. Step inside. See, this is where I want you to come. You see how far Jamaican music coming from, Kadim? These are Tainas, the first people, and see, they're playing drums and dancing. And look at these African instruments. That's when the first Africans came to Jamaica. Now, I bet you don't know what this instrument is.
Rumba box?
It is a rumba box, and you hear that in what kind of music now?
Mento.
Mental, that's what makes the mental music so sweet. Now, look at this. This is jazz music. Jamaica had a rich tradition of jazz. Coming right out of Alpha Boys School, you see it? Right after jazz, the same jazz musicians were playing R&B.
I found my thrill.
That came from America. And when the R&B dried up from America, then they started making Jamaican R&B. Jamaican turned the R&B around and made their own Jamaican style of R&B music, which then led to ska.
It was the beginning of independence. Ska was looked upon as the new sound of Jamaica. We find in our own identity, not following the American R&B or the ballad or the middle of the road kind of music that was coming from North America and Europe. And so it was very nationalist in its outlook and output.
Gather together, be brothers and sisters, we're independent. Join hands to hands, children started to dance, we're independent. Oh, peace and blue. The Lord is still with you. God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst.
Seems like the music always speak about social issues.
A lot of the music is about social issues. After all, life is music and music is life. After ska, you got Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, the rhythm, the ska still continue, but the bass rock. And the guitar and the piano, ska same way. But the bass, the emphasis on the bass, so you fall back on you.
Well, it looks as if we can hear music here.
I like this, Grandpa.
This
nice.
is Rocksteady. Now you should have seen me and your grandmother in those days. Rocking steady.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Yes. That's Alton Ellis, you know. Yeah. Great Rocksteady singer. But we turn down the people things here. Next thing, they throw us out of here. And go back to watch this thing.
But Grandpa, you've been talking about Jamaican music for how long now, and until now I haven't heard anything about reggae.
Well, we're coming right up to reggae now. Here we are, reggae. Well, first of all, many people say that reggae was born at Sir Coxson's Studio 1 on Brentford Road.
Clement Dad brought a piece of machinery to the studio for about a year. It was sitting there. And no one knew exactly what to do with it. And so they hooked it up one day and decided to implement it. And they discovered it was a tape delay. And so they hooked it into the machine and they started doing it into the recording. So when they put the guitar sound through the tape delay, it comes back saying that. The rest of studios hearing this recording out, they thought it was the guitar making that and just copied that, and that was the birth of reggae music.
I want to do the reggae, girl, with you. Yeah, come on to me.
Here are some of the great artists who came out of that. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh and Bunny Livingston, the Wailers, Burning Spear, and so on. Now, reggae was also a way of life. It was the greatest advertisement for Rastafari.
I think it's my time to teach you a little bit.
What can you teach me?
Come right here, sir.
Oh, dancehall. I know that's when you were going to get happy.
It was just a little bit different in the 80s where you have more artists that come and you have to compete with artists like every day, and the dancehall vibes. When you go into the dance hall, you know, you have to just hold the mic to get a bus. And now it's different. You just have a CD, you go to the radio station and get some airplay.
The 90s had these persons like Beanie Man, Lady Saw, and Bounty Killer. Up to today, Beanie Man and Bounty Killer still have swag. Right now, we have producers that are artists that are producers, and radio jocks who are doing both. With technology, the music is now diverse.
We are accepting music on a broader scale. One time gone till you want to hear hip-hop music or techno music being playing in a dancehall setting. And that is happening right now. A lot of pop music is being accepted. Disco music, techno music, electro house music is being accepted right now. Hip-hop music is widely accepted right now. So we as Jamaican, we are listening to a wide cross-section of music.
That means that we took music and turned it into Jamaican music, and we have given it back to the world, and everything has now come together. Kadeem, the tour done. See, it wasn't that bad after all.
For real, Grandpa. Really inspired by all of this. Well, out of many, we're really one music.
And you might yet become a good musician.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yes.
We've come to the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more. Just visit our website at jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.